I'm Peter Woods, and I recently had the opportunity to ask Centralis CTO Peter Wilkins for his views on delivering desktops from the cloud. Peter, I'm hearing more and more about desktops in the cloud. What exactly are people talking about?
Well, it's really looking at centralized desktop delivery systems. So in the past, that's been terminal services, and then moving forward, it's been VDI, and taking those and actually delivering them from within inside a cloud provider. So they would then deliver the desktops to you, and you can purchase that on a per user per month basis.
So does it by definition mean using an external service provider?
Well, there's nothing to stop you creating a desktop as a service type proposition similar to that within inside your organisation in the form of a private cloud. That gives you then, obviously, you then take on the management and control of those desktops, but it also doesn't prevent you from hosting some of those desktops in with a cloud provider if that's what you want to do.
So why would I want to move my desktops to the cloud?
Well, I think a lot of organisations don't want to be experts in desktop delivery, and it's quite a complex thing to deliver. And you've got to put in a lot of investment, both in capital and in skills. So if you can offload that to the cloud, then that's obviously a great benefit. It also gives you the benefit, certainly for smaller organisations, of better DR and business continuity and potentially security as well, because the data is held within a large data centre rather than within a small room maybe on your business premises. It also gives you a lot more flexibility around access to that desktop, so it's not you can't only access it from within inside your organisation, you can access it from any device and anywhere. And also agility as well. So if you're a smaller organisation that's growing, needs to move premises, if you have all that infrastructure in the cloud, it's very easy to be able to do that. And also offer flexibility for your employees in terms of when they can work and where they can work from.
But I'm guessing quite a few of those are benefits that you can get from a well-designed application delivery solution without going to an external provider.
Yes, that's certainly true.
So what are the considerations in moving to the cloud?
First of all is to make sure that the desktop you're purchasing meets your business requirements for those desktops. Make sure you're choosing a suitable supplier, reputable supplier, and that the SLA terms meet what you require. And one of the things I would also say that you need to check on is if you need to move to another provider at a later stage, what are the costs or barriers going to be in moving your data and settings from your current supplier? If you're a larger organisation as well, you probably need to consider where the data centres are located and the security of your data that you need in that data centre, because there may be some compliance issues around where it's located.
And technically?
Well, there's a couple of major points that I would go through there. The first one being, if you're going to relocate your desktops into the cloud, you need to understand where the data is that those applications are going to access. Because if that's in your data center and your desktops are in the cloud, then obviously there may be performance implications for running that application across the network between the provider and your data center. So you need to understand that very well. And secondly, there's Microsoft licensing. If you want to provide a desktop operating system in the cloud like Windows 7 or Windows 8, you can't host that on shared hardware. So the cloud provider would have to provide separate hardware for each of their customers.
So how do you see the future of desktop delivery developing?
Well, I think there's sort of 5 stages. The first stage is desktop transformation to get a centralised infrastructure. So that's moving your desktops to the centre so you've got the flexibility and agility that provides. The second stage is to put a storefront on the front of your services that you're providing, because now not only do we need to deliver sort of Windows applications, we're also looking at mobile applications, software as a service applications and web applications, and not forgetting, of course, data as well. So if we can put a storefront on the front of that which actually provides all those and gives us a single point of management and control, then we can provide things like single sign-on and automation of provisioning and deprovisioning of those accounts, especially in the form of software as a service. Thirdly, once we've got control over that portal, we could look at, well, when a user signs up or selects one of those services, can we automatically provision the infrastructure behind that? And the way we would do that is start to look at adopting some of the public cloud techniques around automation and orchestration in terms of building ourselves a private cloud infrastructure inside the business. So once we've now got access to those applications and the ability to provision them, we can look at who's using them, what is it costing us to actually provision them, and start to understand the costs for each of the services that we provide. Having got that, we're then in a good position to decide which of those services we might want to deliver from the cloud and which we might want to deliver internally, because we can compare those costs directly. And also we're in a position to say, well, could we be a provider of services as well? We have a storefront, we have an ability to auto-provision, so we could offer services as well to other providers.
Very interesting. So we're still some way off achieving all of that, but many organisations are facing the need to change desktop delivery now. What do you recommend they do?
For smaller organisations, I would go ahead and look at cloud desktops now. For larger organisations, I think it needs to be part of an overall desktop transformation strategy that's aligned to their business and IT strategy. And cloud desktops may well be an option as part of that, but I don't think it would be the whole solution. I think the first thing probably to concentrate on is building out your private cloud infrastructure internally so that you can then decide what's most appropriate to deliver from the cloud. And if you're looking at desktops in the cloud, then I think you should trial them first and before you commit, and make sure that you understand all the implications around, the applications, the data, and the network before you move forward.
That's great. Thanks, Peter.
You're welcome.
Centralis can help you to develop and deliver the right desktop strategy for your organisation. To find out more, call 01564 795911 or email cio@centralis.co.uk.